I get what you mean.
Scratcher slash media.
I have a bad habit of making jokes.
You better watch
I do open
Splash
mics.
and Slash Media, because I don't want to have to scratch and slash.
The third one looked good though. Like I saw the trailer.
I'm sorry, I just got really turned on.
That's a little promo.
Now today's Nightmare Field Adventure, we're back here at Full Moon Cineplex, but this time around we're here to see Sleepaway Camp with Felissa Rose, the star of it. So there's going to be a Q&A after, so we're going to try and film it. But for the time being, we're about to get in here and get our tickets, get in line, because this is one of the only movies a part of the actual Full Moon Tattoo and Horror Convention that is completely sold out.
Sold out.
So we're going to try to get in here and get in line, see how it is.
Meet me at the waterfront after the social.
I'll be there.
So in 1982, my parents knew that I loved singing and dancing. I know you can't tell. Performing in front of people. And they got me a local manager in New York, and the first audition I had was for a little horror movie where they wanted a flat-chested girl. And I went and auditioned for the movie. And I met the director, Robert Hiltzik, and immediately we hit it off. I loved him, and I walked out. I was like, I think this is gonna happen. I think I got this. And my mother was like, "Shut the fuck up! All right, you didn't get the part. All right." And then they did cast me, and I read the script, and I was like, "Oh, that's very interesting, original." And my parents thought this would be so fun.
It holds up so well over all these years. Don't you guys think?
Hell yeah!
Woo! It looks great, and it feels just like one of those classic 80s slashers. I mean, it didn't age poorly like so many of them do.
It was fun. It
Yeah.
was so
So
fun.
where did they shoot that? Was it at an actual camp?
It was a camp. It was the director's camp. He had gone there his whole childhood. It was in upstate New York, so they cast all of these New York kids. I know you couldn't tell. we all talk like this. We're like, why you fucked up, huh? What's your problem? So I think that's part of the charm. Like, it's, just candid and, the kid, we were really 13 to 18 years old. Unlike some camp movies that cast 25-year-olds from LA, the Friday the 13th, cast real New York kids who were young, and it was a lot. It was like going to Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, it lends that authenticity. I think it shows
Very
great.
authentic,
Really good.
yeah.
You were great in it.
Aw.
So tell me some fun stories. So Artie, how was he? The guy that played Artie.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Total gentleman. I know you can't tell on screen. He was just a doll, quiet, and sit in a corner with his book. And when he was ready to play Artie, then he turned on this crazy, pedophile character. And so he was a doll.
I mean, I don't think there's any character that you root for dying as much as that guy.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah.
So tell me a funny story. What's something cool that happened?
I was in love with Ricky, who played my cousin. And we dated for 36 hours and made out. So that was camp. And the girls, Judy and Meg, were my best friends.
Aww.
So we would hang out and go to movies together, and it was like a family. It was really nice.
What a great first movie.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great.
And after that, you did went to acting school, right?
Yeah, I realized at a young age, this was fun, but if I really wanted to pursue it, I had to love it myself, not do it for anyone else, and I really needed to study. So I went to school and got a degree in acting, and then went on later in life, in my 20s, to pursue movies in the horror genre.
Yeah, you've done so many, I mean, a
It's
lot
my
of
love.
movies.
I am obsessed with horror movies, always have been. And so to act in horror movies is a total gift, and I'm incredibly grateful to be part of this beautiful community that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah!
We're lucky to do what we love, right?
I think that's the key to life. Be happy, be love, laugh,
Keeps you young.
hug, love,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. That acting school is what kept you out of the sequels, right?
I think you say I'm in trouble.
We know better than that.
So yes, I was cast in the sequels. Michael Simpson, the director, called me and said, "Hey, do you want to do these sequels?" I was like 16, but and he was filming back to back 2 and 3 in Georgia, but I had just gotten accepted into college, so I was like, I don't know if I really want to do it, and I decided no. And he loved Pamela Springsteen, so it worked out perfectly because she's amazing in the sequels. So if you haven't seen the sequels, check them out. Pamela Springsteen, who reprises the role as Angela, is freaking awesome.
And that's great that you support her.
I love her.
Yeah.
I read her fan mail, like on Instagram, like I love you.
Aww.
I want to hang out with you.
That's great. You guys got any questions?
Oh, sorry about that. So I heard there was like some sort of fan theory going on that Angela was secretly infatuated, like she kind of had a bit of a crush on Judy. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah! How could she not? Judy's hot. I have not heard that, but I've heard so many interesting theories on this film, including mine, or maybe not. I think Sleepaway Camp lends itself to a lot of interesting ideas. It does have such incredible social commentary about sexual orientation and gender identification and the bullying aspect. There's a lot to unpack with this film. So, you know, Angela being in love with Judy makes perfect sense to me. I love that. I'm going with that theory. Yeah! The sequel! Judy and Angela!
I was wondering how much of the subject matter you understood at that time, at age 13, what was going on in the movie?
You know, I think the director was really great with explaining a lot to me if I didn't understand it right off the page. And I was very curious, 13-year-old, so I had a lot of questions. And he and I sat and talked and discovered a lot about the script and the character that, you know, maybe I couldn't get off the first reading because I had to sit and read the script by myself the very first time. I was 12 when I read the script. And I think Sleepaway Camp has, again, so much to unpack, but he was wonderful in being my friend and sitting with me and really talking to me. So I think by the end of filming, I truly understood what the movie was about.
I think it does have a lot to unpack, but I think that's kind of what gives another layer of interest, you know? That as society keeps evolving, you just find new things to find about it and appreciate. So I think that's good. I mean, it could be just a flat slasher with nothing else to it, and it would be anywhere near as interesting.
But I think Sleepaway Camp is actually more interesting on the second viewing because you can really take all of the pieces and put them together and understand, like, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, I get why that was going on. And it lends itself to so many questions and curiosities. And I feel like sometimes it's my little baby and I just love watching it grow and grow. It's really, oh, let's all hug.
How did you land on that final pose and noise combo?
So they went in upstate New York. There was a Albany State University, and they found a young boy who would pose naked. They shaved his body. He had to be 18 years of age or older to do the nude scene. They made a mold of my face and they put it on him. He drank a bottle of Jack Daniels and he cried and he stood there and he did a great job.
comes out,
Yes. 83.
I imagine there was there any press for it? Like it's out in the world. What is like people are seeing it, people learn about the twist. How are you in real life with it? People come up like, oh my god, blah 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 blah. Like
So I took my whole 8th grade class to the theater.
Yeah.
And it was something like this. And I was like, we're gonna watch a movie that I made. And it's gonna be really fun. And then we sat and watched it. And my little 13-year-old brain actually couldn't get my brain around what a film was. Because when you make a movie, it's like you do it out of sequence. So I didn't really get it. I was like, I hope I made it into the final cut. And I watched it with my 8th grade class, who recently all started posting on my Facebook, and they were like, remember when we went to see the movie? Holy shit. I was like, holy fuck, I haven't spoken to you motherfuckers since like 1987. And we sat and watched it, and at the very end I went, wow, that's what we made? Okay. And then it was re-released in June of '84, and so it had gotten some press and some traction. But it still, to me, was just like this sweet little movie that I made when I was 13, and it wasn't until the internet in like the early 2000s that I was like, dang, I'm making some websites on this movie. And they were like, I like it, did you like it? I saw it, that stupid movie, that crazy movie, that campy movie, that. And I was like, yay! And here I am, thanks to all of you. Thank you for remembering it, for watching it. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you because this movie has such a huge part of my heart, and I'm not going to start crying, but it has been my entire life, and I thank you for being here to watch it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Piggybacking off what he asked, what did your friends think about it? Like, did they give you a hard time afterwards, or did they think it was the coolest thing and you were the coolest chick in school?
It was kind of like both. It was, well, you know, she's scary as fuck, and wow, that's cool, you made a movie. And then bitchy girls at that age, because I'm 13, are like, let's throw gum in her hair. She thinks she's cool. But I was super insecure and an introvert and like scared and afraid, like that people would make fun of me in just terms of like, you know, you think you're an actress and all this, and I was like, and I'm going to do a good job. So I was very insecure and found who my real friends were. So that's the upside always, right?
Yeah.
You find the good people,
Right.
like this community.
Did you get to keep a fun souvenir from the movie?
I wrote a little book while I was on set
Oh.
about all my experiences, and then I would have everyone in the cast sign it, and I had that.
It sounds like you had a positive experience with the director, but I have to ask, like, was he just completely insane? Like,
No. He's is that what you thought?
I love it.
He was 24, so he was fairly young. He just graduated NYU, and this was like his film thesis. His mom had passed away, so he used his inheritance to make this movie. And his girlfriend at the time was the producer, who's now his wife. And he was just a very level-headed, creative person. He's now an attorney because he felt like he failed at being a filmmaker. Fuck that. And he's just a super cool, nice person.
That's one of the best films ever made, in my opinion.
Aww.
Thank you for your participation.
You're my best friend. That's so sweet.
So, obviously, besides Sleepaway Camp, what are some of your favorite scary movies growing up?
Oh my god. So my favorite movie ever is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original film. I think it's like the greatest movie ever. It scared the fuck out of me. The Exorcist, Jaws, I saw in theaters. My grandmother took me, and I was like, what the? Friday the 13th, Halloween, all of the classics from that era are my, go-to on a loop in my house with my kids. So, yeah, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my everything.
Have you been to the Chainsaw House?
I love Rob Zombie. think Rob Zombie's amazing. What's that?
I'm sorry. Have you been to the Chainsaw House?
I have. I actually I worked for Fangoria for a little while back in the early 2000s, and I went to the location and I interviewed everyone. Marilyn Burns, Gunnar Hansen, Ed Neal, the whole cast, John Dugan. We all sat together, and I was like, someone pinch me. This is like crazy and amazing, and I love all of them. It's great.
I recently just watched Bloody Summer Camp, and I want to know your feelings on going back to making a summer camp slasher horror movie.
I love you. Thank you for watching Bloody Summer Camp. That was one of my favorite experiences because that cast and director Dave Kerr are my favorite people. I walked onto that set. It's hilarious. It's a total throwback to 80s, like campy movies. And now we're doing part 2. I think anything that takes on the 80s feel and vibe and characters is aces in my book, and I love that movie. I had a beautiful experience, so I can't wait to start working on the sequel. I tell everyone, like, this movie has taken on a life of its own. Like, everyone loves that film because it's hilarious, and it's very similar to Sleepaway Camp. Bloody Summer Camp. Fucking awesome. Thank you. I love you. Anybody else? Last question.
So you said that it's like most of the actors on that set are like actual kids. Was it like kind of insane working with that number of kids, or was it pretty manageable, or it's like, you know, kids being kind of rowdy?
I mean, yeah, we were all crazy, you know, and we were all just having the time of our lives. So I think it probably wasn't manageable for the producers and the director, but for me, I was running amok and like I was the craziest one on set. I was the youngest and just having the time of my life because everyone was so loving and embracing and great to be around. So it was, the entire experience was exactly what you see on screen, except I'm in on the joke. So it was great.
I just want to ask, did you guys have any kind of rap party whatsoever? Like, what was it like when you guys were done shooting? Did you just go home, or did you guys like have cake?
I rapped and went home to my family, and then I had to go back to 8th grade. I missed the first few months, and that sucked because I was all excited. I remember being very sad, like, oh, I have to go back to school. I was finally like, you know, an extrovert, like, having fun, and then I had to go deal with these bitchy girls in junior high. But we had one rap party that I remember that Ronnie, Paul D'Angelo, you know Ronnie, he had a big party at like a disco in New York City, and we all went, and I got to wear like a really cool dress, and I looked at Ricky and I was like, "Hi, what's up, bitch?" That was the end of the romance. So it was fun seeing everyone after a year, and we, you know, talked about how we enjoyed making the movie, being together, and we still hang out. We did a whole 40th year, going to conventions together, the whole cast. So it's been a fun journey. It really has been. I mean, I am so grateful for the film. I just cherish it. It was a beautiful memory. My dad passed away when I was 20, but he was around when I made this film. So I think it sort of still creates so many beautiful memories for me as a kid. And again, I'm just grateful to be here. This is a beautiful experience. I love all of you.
We love you. We're grateful for you.
Thanks for being here. Thank you.
All right. Once more. Show over the at the tattoo show.
Yeah, the full moon festivals. Anyone going?
Oh yeah! Woo!
All weekend.
All weekend, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Come see her.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Thank
All right.
you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging.
hanging with me. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, we got something for you.
Oh,
Happy
and
Easter.
thank you for your questions. Thank you.
I thought it was a gold.
What's up? Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. No problem. I have to say, I am embarrassed.
Why?
Because this is like the 4th or 5th time I think.
Have you met Reed or Dave?
Actually, we've met, I think we have 2 or 3 of your signatures. We've met you guys a lot.
We did 9 conventions last year. You were at all 9 of them.
For sure, Scarefest, right?
Yes. We met you at Knoxville with we had the Wolverine claws. And
Was it Texas Frightmare?
no, we didn't get to Texas.
We did Huntsville.
You Hunt? Yes.
Yes.
But this is I've had Hatchet, Terrifier. This is my first Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my God.
Everything, all your signatures is everything else.
Yeah.
Dave's always hiding.
But this will be the first Sleepaway. I was no problem.
How are you guys?
How much is it?
Are you gonna stay
Who
back?
do you want me to make
I've
it
never
on?
seen it.
I've never seen
I've seen none of them. I've seen none of them.
Scratch/media.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Scratch and
I
slash media.
have a bad habit of making jokes.
You better watch
I do open
Splash
mics.
and Slash Media, because I don't want to have to scratch and slash.
The third one was good though. Like I saw the trailer.
Sorry, I just got really turned off.
That's a little promo.
What is that what's called?
Oh, the Nun 2, yeah.
Oh,
I
Nun
love
3,
that.
right?
No, it was Nun 2. Her first appearance was in The Conjuring 2, then she got her own solo movie, then sequel.
Right, take them off.
I mean, if you don't think you can ask her.
Who saw the Nun 3? Was it number 3 or number 2? It was?
Yeah.
I'm mixing it up because of.
Let's go swimming.
Now? What about our clothes?
Take them off.
We're getting real steamy.
Yeah,
so it came out in The Conjuring, was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, I
Is that
understand.
what you're thinking?
I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much.
That's why I thought it was the third.
I love those first two